Good afternoon, and thank you for tuning in on the Central YouTube channel. As not going to do a student athlete interview this time, I'm going to do a coach, one of our coaches here at Central High School, and actually a coach that's part of a co-op team with Logan High School, and somebody who's very familiar with the viewers that watch the Central YouTube channel. I'm here with Josh Buxton. Buxton is coaching the girls golf co-op team. Josh, thank you for taking time out of your very busy day to join us on the YouTube channel.
Nami, for you, the world. You know that.
Well, you certainly are a friend of the YouTube channel, do a lot of work for us, particularly in the winter season because you're busy coaching in the spring and the fall.
Not,
Got a
not
new gig
anymore.
here. Not anymore. Well, it's true.
Yep.
Well, you got a new
Yep.
gig though. You are coaching here in the fall, and so you took on the girls golf program. Give us a little bit of a season update. We obviously don't get out to cover much girls golf, but we did want to check in with the girls golf team to see how things are going.
Yeah, it's been a pretty quick season. Now our golf season actually starts uh, the second week of August. So we're going kind of at the same time football does. We're starting before the school year. What's interesting about golf is that in the first 2 weeks we had four meets or five meets, which is basically our over a third of our season was done almost the third week of August, second week of August, something like
Wow.
that. So we've been actually going. We're kind of nearing the end. We got about 2 weeks left in our season, two and a half if we do really well. This coming Monday we have the conference tournament, the MVC conference tournament at Viroqua Country Club, and that is an 18-hole event, and we'll have both our varsity and our JV teams there. The following week, October 2nd, we have our regionals out at Cedar Creek in Onalaska, which is an incredibly difficult but fun course to play. And then if we're lucky, we'll maybe push one or two girls into the sectionals, which is then I think the following week at the Hiawatha Golf Club in Toma. So as hard as it is to believe, like we're 3 weeks into school and our season's almost over with.
That's pretty incredible, and it sounds, yeah, as your season is winding down here, it sounds like it's been a lot of fun for the golf team. Tell us a little bit about some of the kids who are participating. Who's all on the team?
So right now it is a co-op, as you mentioned, and I was just got back actually from the Logan Activity Fair because I didn't realize this until early this afternoon that we have not had a girl from Logan on our team since 2012. And if I remember right, 2012, you and I were a little bit younger. I had more hair, and we were both a little bit skinnier. So it's been a long time since we had a Logan kid. So right now we have seven girls from Central. We have one senior, Sienna Folkers. We have four juniors, Jameson Buxton, Emma Raisler, Elena Barra, and Elena Wagner. And then we have two freshmen, which is really exciting, Sophia Settergren and Anya Johnson. So it's exciting to see some younger kids. I've heard through the grapevine that we're going to have at least one or two freshmen next year coming to us. So that's great because, over the years, our numbers have not been awesome. So, to get more bodies on the golf course, enough to fill the full varsity and JV team is kind of the direction we're going. And I'm kind of hoping we get there.
So, talk about the Logan side of it, looking to add more Logan participants. So, if any Logan people are out there watching our broadcast, thank you for watching. And
Yes.
if you're interested in playing golf, sign up. Josh, do they have to have any experience to come out for the golf team, or will you teach them everything they need to know?
I will teach them to the ends of my knowledge about how to play golf. Um, the golf is such a great sport. I mean, it's something, even if you don't know how to play, it's something you should. I mean, you really do need to learn how to play. We talked a little while ago, Naomi, about the uniqueness of this sport. If you don't know how to play, now is a great time to learn because it's something you'll do if you enjoy it, really for the rest of your life. It's different in respects to other varsity sports like football, basketball, baseball, softball. Those are things that, yes, you can do later on in life. But it's really tough unless you're the Johnny Davis of the world or, for those of us who've been around, like a Bobby June who went on to play, college baseball. The competitiveness ends when your sport is over in high school, generally speaking, except if maybe Zach George at St. Norbert's. Whereas golf is something that if you enjoy it, you can play the rest of your life. You can be competitive for the rest of your life. There's a lot of local tours around here. Um, and golf in itself at the varsity level, at the high school level, is interesting because as much as we are competing against other schools, we're really not competing against other schools. We're competing against the courses that we play on. We're competing against ourselves to be better every time we walk out. So, our girls will go on the course and they'll get matched up with kids from Toma, or get matched up with kids from Onalaska, Holman, Aquinas, whatever. But we're really not playing them. We're playing the course itself as it's laid out that day. And what I found interesting about this experience, because it is kind of my second go around with the golf program, is that when the girls find out their pairings, they get really excited because they're playing with kids that they're friends with, that they get to know over the course of their golf careers. Where, they might find out they're playing with someone from Sparta and someone from Aquinas. Like, I get really excited because, they played with them last week, and they had, they talk to each other on the course because they know it is competitive, but they're not competing against that person. They get to know other kids from other schools. And it is more of a camaraderie based sport than others. So I've really enjoyed that. Golf is just it's something once you learn, and if you get bit by the golf bug, as you know, Nami, it doesn't let go. Even when you're frustrated, even when you're stinking, and even when you're 25 over par after 9 holes, you still want to go, you still want to do it, you still want to play. So it is kind of a unique experience like that.
Yeah, absolutely. You talk about a lifelong sport, certainly something that can be played really your entire life. We know that because we do it
Hmm.
all summer long,
All the
and so
Yeah, yeah.
we certainly love the sport. Tell us some of your top performers that are performing for you this season.
Okay, so for most of the season, our varsity kid, and the way the high school golf is set up, for those who don't know, is you're allowed to enter 5 girls into a varsity competition. And then the top 4 scorers from your team count towards your competitiveness with the others. So we've had 5 girls who have been playing varsity, kind of our solid top 5. Um, our top 5 have been Sienna Folkers, who's a senior, and Elena Wagner. They've been our 1-2 all year. This past week, I flip flopped Elena Wagner to be the 1 and Sienna Folkers to be the 2 at Sparta on Monday. We flip flopped them. Elena Wagner finished third. She shot a 40, I want to say a 43 maybe. So she finished behind a
Wow.
girl from Toma and I think a girl from Holman maybe. But she played really well. And then Sienna, who played as our number 2 this past week, finished 12th. Um, and I was reflecting on this, and I had this conversation where if she had made 2 more putts, if she had shaved 2 strokes off of that round, she would have finished in the top 6.
Hmm.
So golf, as you talk about the uniqueness of the sport. In some cases, in this case, it's similar to football, basketball, where you miss an extra point in football, you're in trouble. You miss your free
Mhm.
throws down the stretch in basketball, you're in trouble. In golf, if you're missing putts, you might be in trouble. And Sienna spent a lot of time with me working yesterday on her putting, so I expect that to be, turn the corner a little bit here next week. The last 3 on our varsity, Emma Racler has been playing as our number 3. Jamison Buxton, my lovely daughter, has been our number 4, and then Sophia Settergren, who's a freshman, has been our number 5. And it's been interesting for Sophia and our other freshman Anya Johnson because they're kind of getting thrown into this. In middle school, it's kind of one of those fun activities you go do after school, and I think you play a couple matches, and they take it. I don't know how serious they take it, but at high school, you're kind of getting thrown in, and you got to follow every single rule, and you got people watching you to make sure you are playing the game correctly. And so those 5 have been our varsity squad, and we've been pretty consistent with our finishes. We're usually hanging around the 4th and the 5th spot when we have our competitions. Our 2 JVs have been Elena Barra, who's a junior, and Anya Johnson. Elena has been improving incredibly by leaps and bounds this year. She's playing confidently. She's starting to play a whole lot better. Next year, I fully expect her to probably be up on the varsity roster, which is awesome for her. Anya is kind of another one getting her feet wet, and we've got some things to work on with her, but she's improving. It's amazing to see, the look in their eyes when you tweak something with their swing or their stance or how they're attacking the ball. When it goes right, they look at you like, Christmas morning in a room full of presents. Like, I couldn't believe, things are going well. So I've got 7 really great kids on the team this year. Next year, I'm hoping for more, which is why I was at the Logan Activity Fair, hoping to recruit a few more for next year. We'd love to have a full varsity 5 and a full JV 5. So my fingers are crossed that we get a few more kids coming.
Well, let's make that happen. We'll get this out on the YouTube page, and we'll see if we can drum up any interest for you and fill out your
Yeah.
roster for next year. You talked about Sienna Folkers. Of course, she was on the broadcast last year, did a nice interview as she made a deep run in the postseason, I remember.
Yep.
Are you
Yep.
looking for that again from maybe Elena Wagner? And we'll have to get Elaine on here because I have a connection with her being in the Health Science Academy. So we'll get Elaine on there and maybe get Sienna on here again too. Are you thinking maybe a couple of those girls might be able to make a little bit of a run?
I'm hoping so. As a team, the odds of us making it to regionals is not great because if we're in the bottom half of our conference, we're bringing in teams like Hudson to regionals and a couple teams from north that are, they are serious programs. So
Sure.
if we could get kids to sectionals, it would have to be on an individual basis. Like you said, last year, Sienna made it to sectionals. I think she shot a 90. I can't remember where regionals were last year, maybe around here somewhere. Anyway, she made it with a 90. I think that's something she can do again. I think Wagner is playing with a lot of confidence right now. I got some compliments from other coaches around the conference. Tanya Geneva Coatoma especially said she is playing out of her mind right now. And if Tanya up at Toma is noticing how well you're playing, that's a good sign that you're playing well because Tanya has a
Mhm.
pretty tough team and she knows her stuff. So when she compliments you, it's a pretty big deal. I would love to see, if we can get two of those girls through to sectionals, that would be amazing. It's difficult because, at the regional level, they take the top two teams move on to sectionals, and then they take four individual qualifiers. So if we would get two of those four, that would be pretty monumentous for our program because we've had, handful of kids make the sectionals over the years. Maggie Kenhammer did a few years ago. I think Grace Amundsen made it a few years ago. Sienna obviously last year made it. So if we can get two, I would be ecstatic.
Well, we will be keeping close eyes on you and certainly rooting for you and the girls down the stretch. And maybe we'll get a couple athlete interviews on here to try to keep shining that spotlight on the girls golf team. Josh,
I would
I
love
want to
it.
thank I want to thank you for taking time out of your very busy schedule. Like your license plate says on the back, we are out of time, but I
Out of
want to thank
time.
you for out of time. I want to thank you
Before
for
we go, Nami,
joining us today.
I
Yeah.
fu- I fully expect you next year. I know you've been you and Joel and myself and Mr. Arnold have been kind of expanding how we're doing the YouTube channel. I fully expect you when we host our meet at Forest Hills next year that we will have a portable camera and computer system so you can at least broadcast some of our golf match out to the masses so they can see their kids.
Well, there you go. And I would certainly do that. The only issue is technical issues, like I always have. So, Joel, if you're listening, that's something to start working on. Figure out how we can do that. I would love to go out there and cover some golf. I'd love to be out on the golf course in any
I
capacity.
agree with
So,
you. I'm missing it,
yeah,
my man.
absolutely. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Josh, and we're rooting for you. Viewers, thank you for tuning in. Remember that we have uh, soccer tonight, ASL Showdown with the boys soccer team, a huge event. That is starting in a couple hours, 4 o'clock. We'll be live on the air about 3:45 with some pregame. Tomorrow night, not sure about a double broadcast. So we will for sure have volleyball. That is the girls hosting Logan here at Central. We'll have that game for sure. The soccer game is up in the air, and the only reason it's up in the air is because I'm not sure about the weather. If there's any chance of rain, we don't want to take all of our equipment out in the rain. So we're going to watch that weather forecast. We will either have a dual broadcast for you with boys soccer and girls volleyball, or we'll just have the girls volleyball game. We'll figure that out tomorrow sometime. And then, of course, Friday, homecoming football game versus Baraboo, and Joel and I will be live for that one starting at 6:45. Thank you for tuning in. Josh, thank you for your time. Have a good day.